2022. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels: YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. Visit us on thesportscast.net. And also, you could go and get the app for iOS, the Sportscast. Well, this is our episode number 2 of soccer this week. The Sportscast, we covered 3 main sports: football, basketball, and the beautiful game of football. And today we have a guest that I've been wanting to get for months and months. Finally, I was able to squeeze him in. Francisco Flores, formerly from On the Counter. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
How's it going? It's been a while. If I'm a stumble my words a little bit, I'm a little rusty. So, I mean, I was already doing that regardless. So,
like we'll Gareth Bale?
Happens. Yeah, exactly like Gareth Bale. Put me in the 90th minute, coach. That's me.
So Francisco, tell us, what have you been up to these past couple of months?
Well, just working, trying to build up my small business, which I have a car detailing business. That's what I've been focusing now that I stopped doing the podcasting. So yeah, life's going. Just trying to figure out the whole small business thing, which is a whole another ordeal. But thankfully, I had a little bit of the background with the podcasting, and there's some things that I could use from that. So
using your podcasting skills.
Yep, exactly.
Of course, your podcast isn't temporarily hold because you're definitely a good one. So hopefully we'll see you back more regularly.
Exactly.
Soon, especially for the World Cup this year. All right. So Mexico qualified to the World Cup, came in place number 2. Some people say they've been struggling these past couple of years, though they qualified. They made it to the Gold Cup finale. They lost against the U.S., which they also lost against the U.S. in the Nations League and also in the qualifier to 2-0. But they made it. Number 2, not bad, but this might not be the strongest Mexican team. For some people might say that, but I want to hear Francisco Flores. What were your thoughts over this World Cup qualification run they had?
Well, the run, I think ultimately Mexico got where they wanted to be. Canada obviously putting in a really, really strong performance. So Mexico wanted to be first, but regardless, we're qualified. I think there is something to say about, everybody's saying, oh, this is the best, U.S. team, that has existed, yet they qualified lower than Mexico. And Mexico looked like they, at one point, maybe weren't going to qualify. But I think the team is playing to win. They have a tactic, they have a strategy, they have a game plan. So even though things maybe didn't look the way that Mexico fans wanted, I think Mexico fans wanted to see a lot more goals, a lot more enthusiasm, and a lot more excitement from the team. But it is a process, right? It's a 4-year long process. Some teams don't even make it, to this stage. And very few are privileged to actually go to the World Cup. So I think, we should at least appreciate that, which, it's going to be hard for Mexico fans. So we demand a lot, especially from our soccer athletes and professionals. But, my personal opinion, it still hasn't changed from a couple weeks back when we were talking. I think the
months,
yeah, for the past few months. I think last week, when I wasn't really feeling, how this Mexico team was playing out, I said that I think they need a different outlook. They need a different manager, because Tata Martino, I feel like he's just comfortable in his role right now. From a lot of things that you hear, it's like he doesn't really even spend time with the team. He just kind of shows up, for the matches the day before or whatever, and he's like, all right, let's go. Which, everybody can have their own opinion about that, but I think you already have very limited time with the national team. So it's like, why not go out of your way to, get to know these guys more and maybe, figure out where could they play, where else could I use them? You have such a huge pool of players, you can't, sometimes you can't just rely on what you can see or what your team is saying about, a specific player. Who Mexico should bring in, I don't know, but I think that they need somebody who can light that fire under the players, behind, like make the players look, on the field and play, like and get the results that they want.
Who
I
can
think
it be?
they're I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good managers out there. They're just taken, and a lot of the good managers don't
But I
really
would
want
not
to.
do a switch this year. I think it's way too late in the game.
Yeah, now it's too late. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we're already past the qualifying stage, so I think now for sure it was too late. And I was maybe like halfway through the qualifying stage is when I felt like maybe we could, set up a change and it would be beneficial. But I think qualifying second, I think Mexico they had their mindset on like we were gonna get third. All right, whatever, we'll just eat or we'll just take the heat from the media and we'll just blow it off, like they always do. So I think they are definitely happy about the second place finish, and we can only hope for the best with Tato Martino, and hopefully he can get us 2 wins, if not 3, out of the group stage.
Martino, he's the Argentinian coach that came from Atlanta. You said there was missing goals, and you also said spark. There is a player named Chicharito that is in Los Angeles, was playing, I think, Fortnite the night of Mexico
Yep.
qualifying game. What are your thoughts? Is this a possibility calling him back, that Maradona feel back in 94? Or is it like, no, look, we just got to stick what we've been playing for the past 3-4 years? What are your thoughts over Chicharito? I'm not saying Carlos Vela. I don't think he's interested, but Chicharito.
I mean, just like it's too late to switch managers. I think it's too late at this point to try to bring in Chicharito and work him in or be like finding a system for him. I mean, he's more or less kind of just the same as Raul Jimenez, or Raul Jimenez is like Chicharito, whatever, however way you want to put it. It wouldn't be too hard, I feel like, for the team to play with Chicharito, but I mean, at this point, there's just so much not hype, what's the word for it? There's just so much commotion, I guess, around like, is he gonna get called up? Is he gonna do this and that? I think in the end, if he does get called up, I don't think he's gonna do anything. He might score just as many goals as Raul or less, like I just don't think that the it's almost like why are we talking about Chicharito when we should be talking about Mexico, as a whole, as a team. Do I want him back? I mean, not necessarily. He's playing in MLS, so it's like he's not stepping up his level. He's, just chilling, making a paycheck in LA, which is fine. He's at the age, where players have to make a decision. And, if you a team is going to give you a lot of money to score goals, then why not take it? Even though even if you're not scoring 30 plus goals per season.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should.
LA Galaxy, of course, favorite. Let's look at the roster. The front side: Corona, Jimenez, Lozano. How do you think they've paired so far? You think it's been a good chemistry line up towards the top?
Yeah, I think they've been doing well. I think there's just a lot of they rely a lot on the individualism of the player, being able to take on players. And while all that is good, having a flashy player like Chucky Lozano who can, take anybody, run past anybody, Tecatito who, same way, he can run past anybody. He's got a lot of skill moves in his bag. But in the end, it's not really resulting, in assists and goals, like the strategy just kind of seems like we'll just get the ball to Raul Jimenez somehow and he'll score, which I mean, overall, I don't think that's a great strategy. I think we should be looking to find goals from all the players, and use height, use speed, use skill moves, use everything to our advantage. I mean, we're already at a disadvantage because the size of Mexican players is not the same as European, and we're eventually, if we move on to the next stage, you're gonna go up against those big European players that never get tired, go full 90. So I think we just need to be taking advantage of what makes the Mexican player great. And as a whole, the team isn't playing in that way. I don't think we're playing to our strengths. We have a strategy, and it's a strategy to win games and win them close 1-0, be defensive, run them out. Yeah. And so that's not what I want to see. I want to see pushing forward, high pressure, a lot of opportunities, and goals, more importantly, 2-3-0, like consistently, not against the weak opponents that are in our federation. Like we need to see some results. So hopefully with these friendlies that are coming up too, which one of them had to get rescheduled because it was going to be against Argentina. I think it's going to be against Uruguay
and Argentina, and I think USA is having the same opponents as well.
Yeah, so I want to see what the players are really going to bring there. I think that's going to be a good opportunity.
Would you bring the A squad?
Yeah, I think bring the A squad, and let's tell the guys, hey, these 2 games right here are going to tell me a lot about, how your dedication, like how hard are you going to work, for the team. Yeah, they're friendlies, but I this is me talking like Tata Martino. Like, yeah, they're friendlies, but you need to take them like we're like this is a mini World Cup, or like this is the World Cup.
Yeah, this is not 2019 post World Cup. No, this is pre World Cup. Every game counts. So for Nations League, you think Mexico will take the series?
For Nations League, yeah, I think so. I think we got that one in. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to say we got it in the bank. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But in the end, I think Mexico will pull it off just like they did second place here in the qualifier. Somehow it'll work out.
Yeah, before we get into the group, your thoughts on Canada and the U.S. We were talking offline about how they've caught up to Mexico, you could say. What are your thoughts over the CONCACAF? Is it a little bit more difficult than usual?
I think individually for Canada, yes. I mean, the rest of the teams, Mexico is where they should be, maybe a little bit back, from the perspective of Mexico fans. The U.S. is above where I think they've fulfilled all the hopes and expectations that people had of them, especially the fans. And the federation, I feel like, should definitely be happy with the way the team has been playing. How
the fans are not content with Berhalter, which I don't understand why. But they're being too nitpick.
Yeah, but I think that regardless, who's going to be whoever's in charge of the U.S. doesn't matter right now, because the players, they just look motivated. Exactly. It's not that they aren't playing well. Like, the players are doing really awesome on the field. Like, they're doing everything that they should. They're playing up to, if not the stronger teams are playing down to their level where they're at now. And so I don't think that they should be. I mean, Berhalter's Berhalter. I would be mad if he was the manager, but the team's getting the results and they're playing a lot better.
You don't need a all-star manager. Like, these players are probably one of the greatest generations, you would think. Obviously, we'll still got to see what happens in the World Cup, which we'll ask about that group as well. But it's a team. It's like the Cowboys. Jerry Jones used to joke about how anyone could have coached his team, but Jimmy Johnson was a legit coach, I thought. But yeah, Canada. Back to where you're saying about second, third, and first place. Even though Canada came in first, they were in pot 3 for the World Cup draw, and Mexico and USA were in pot 2. So the placements didn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, all that work, and basically you still end up getting screwed over a little bit. I don't think Canada will have too much to complain about, but I mean, they're going to have to fight their way out of that group. Regardless, it's not going to be easy for anybody. You can look at every group and be like, yeah, they should win against that team, but once you're actually there, you never know what that team is going to be able to pull off. So many times, in every World Cup, there's that upset, this upset, so something is bound to happen, and you can't really plan for that. So I think Canada will be happy regardless, and they're going to be at the world stage against Belgium and Croatia, and some of the best teams, and so I think they'll be able to put up a good fight.
I totally agree. Canada definitely which Canada beat both Mexico and USA in Canada. So that tells you a lot right there.
Yep.
So all right, so let's go into the groups. Mexico is grouped with Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and Poland. Lewandowski, what are your thoughts? Mexico typically gets out of the group. Sometimes, most of the time, is miraculously they get out of the group. But do you feel the same? Do you feel confident about this group? Do you guys think you'll get out? What are your thoughts and what are you hearing for the Mexican Mexican vineyard?
Well, I think Saudi Arabia, we've got that. Even though I think I don't know a lot of about Saudi Arabia or their country, but I think that it's still going to be a tough game because they will probably have the size over us. But I think it's still it's going to be a manageable game. I think 1-0, 2-1 should be manageable. Though the
You would
teams
think more.
maybe, but that.
But with Tata's tactics, it could be a low scoring match.
Exactly. So let's see, Poland.
Lewandowski.
I'm a little worried about Poland. They're definitely going to be super physical, and that's probably going to be the biggest worry. Do you know who the games, like if is Saudi Arabia first or Poland?
Yeah, first is Poland.
Okay, so
and let me double check on you on that. It might be Argentina or Saudi Arabia.
Because
but
the only thing I'm worried about Poland is getting beat up. Like Chucky Lozano is for sure going to get beat up in that game.
Oh wow!
And it's going to be a physical battle. And if it's Poland is the first game, yeah, it's going to be all the games after that are going to be super tough.
Yeah,
we're
Poland, then Argentina, then Saudi Arabia. So if you guys falter in those first two matches, you got Saudi Arabia to make up for.
Yeah. Which, I mean, now that if you look at it, yeah, in a glass is half or a glass, yeah, it's half full kind of way. I think that's probably the best outcome. But regardless, I think we should be looking for a win in that first game against Poland, and just cross your fingers against Argentina. A tie would be, I think, manageable. They do have a lot of great players. Obviously, Messi's going to be there, and
what do you think about that Argentinian team? Like they won the Copa America first time in like 30 years. Messi kind of not running much in PSG apparently, but he plays well in Argentina. De Paul, pretty talented. What do you think about this Argentinian team? Do you think they're a force to be reckoned with, or maybe a manageable for Mexico?
I wouldn't say a force to be reckoned with. I mean, with Messi, obviously anything can happen, and we've always known that. And the game plan is going to be to get the ball to Messi. I think he's going to be, for that Argentina team, it's going to mean a lot for him to get far, because it's his last World Cup. Like, come on, nobody. He's going to be way too old by the next time. And I mean, some players have already been announcing that they're not going to or that it's their last World Cup. Like Di Maria, I'm pretty sure he's brought something up. So that cycle, that generation of players like Messi and everybody that was around him, like they're done after this. So I think for them it would be something special, especially for Messi, because he's never won a World Cup, and some people don't call him the best, or he's not. Some people say you can't call him the best unless he's won a World Cup.
Which that criteria is probably changing, I would say.
Yeah,
because of the club football, it's become more of a bigger stage, it feels like at times.
Oh yeah. I mean, World Cups every 4 years, and you can't. So much happens in between those 4 years as far as actual or the league soccer, and so much history and whatnot is made, and memories. And I think because those are more current, people remember those more. Like, oh yeah, you remember when Torres missed that wide open goal or whatever in Champions League, stuff like that,
which he could always make up like the next year.
Yeah, and World Cup, a lot of they pick up a lot of fans that are just like, the World Cup's going on, like people who don't really keep up with the soccer that goes in between those 4 years, because soccer keeps going after the World Cup, and this is the Winter World Cup too, so that's going to be a whole nother factor too, which I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about, because we don't know how
Yeah, because most
that's
of the
going to
players will
affect
be in
anything.
mid-season form. Is that going to be like we're going to see more escalated players, playing at their 100%?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be better, because during the summer, you want to play, but there's also the players that want to take a break. Maybe they've been playing, they already played a full season, and yeah, you might want to you want to represent your country, but that's not up to you, right? Like, the choice is made by someone else. The players are picked by the coach. So it's kind of like, oh, I do want to go, but also I kind of want a little break, maybe in between there. Which I don't think a lot of players say that out loud, but a little bit of rest would be nice. So going into the season where it's the winter, and you've already been one game, a couple game weeks into your season, it's just going to be, you're just going to be wearing another colored jersey, and you're just going to be out there working like normal.
Yeah, I do think it'll probably be a big factor for the MLS players because they finished the whole season.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but of course, how many players are coming from the MLS?
Two maybe.
Okay. All right. The USA group, what are your thoughts? They're with the first game we don't know yet. It's either between Wales, Scotland, Ukraine. Second game is England on Black Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then Iran. What are your thoughts over this group? Do you think this US squad can get out of it? Maybe get first or second?
uh I think it's manageable for them. Not first, because I think as bad, not bad, but as flaky, I would say, as England can be in World Cups, um, I think they've got it. Which, as strong of a group as they have, such a huge pool of English players to choose from.
Made it to the top four in the past two international championships, World Cup and the Euros.
Exactly. So I think they should fight for the second place, and I think it'll be manageable. As far as the playoff in that group, I think Wales is going to make it out of there.
Will Gareth
And
Bale make it out?
yeah, I think he will. He's not, he won't have to retire, because everybody wants to see him at the world stage.
He'll probably retire after that World Cup. I got a feeling.
Oh yeah, he's done. I mean, I think I don't know if he said it, but because the media always likes to make stuff up about Gareth Bale. That's their favorite thing to do, to piss him off. Just make stuff up about Gareth Bale. But from what I've read, that he's pretty much like, if he doesn't qualify, then he's done with the World Cup.
Yeah, he's
World
done.
Cup team.
And done with Real Madrid. Maybe go back to playing Swansea or Celtic or some other Welsh club, or maybe Tottenham. Who knows?
Get him as far away from a white jersey as possible. That's all I ask.
Los Blancos.
Well, I guess if it's a Tottenham jersey, I'm not gonna hate that much, but
it won't help that much either. Anyways,
yeah.
World Cup 2022, November 21st. Pretty excited. So Mexico will come out. Second place?
Yes, second place.
Okay. Confidently you'll say that. And then maybe go to El Quinto Partido.
Crossing my fingers. That's the only thing us Mexicans can do. Take a shot of tequila right before the game and hope that we make it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see what happens November 21st. Champions League this past week. Real Madrid, your club, did a fantastic job. They beat Chelsea 3-1. Chelsea's going through a little bit of a skid, I would say. But what were your thoughts over that match? Was that something you are pretty optimistic that they could win the whole thing?
Well, I wasn't able to watch the match live. I was able to watch the restream and
replay on TUDN.
The replay, yep, in Spanish. I really like the enthusiasm on the field and the motivation of all the players, and I think that's something that we've been lacking a lot. And seeing Modric on the field, pushing everybody, getting everybody up from when they go down to
Old
on
man
the
Modric.
old man Modric, just being the coach on there on the field, telling players what to do. I mean, I think there was at some point Ancelotti was saying something and Modric was saying another thing, but the team was doing what Modric was saying.
Wow, he's pulling the
So
Zidane 2006.
yeah, exactly. And Modric has been there since Ancelotti was there, won Champions League with him, and so I think the players are just so confident in the manager now, and it's truly special to see something like that when you see it like coming together. Because for me, I think all the pieces right now are lining up. The moon and the stars are all lining up, and I'm smelling it. I'm smelling that Champions League trophy. So after that Chelsea game, I was super pumped.
In Stamford Bridge. This was not in Santiago de Bernabeu.
Away at the Bridge felt really good. Those goals from Benzema were beautiful. The headers, and even at the end, Mendy gave us that goal. Goalies just love to give Real Madrid free goals for some reason.
Little freebie,
another freebie from a goalie. So of course we got to take it, and for the hat trick, I mean, that just made it even more like rubbing the salt into the wound. It truly looked like Chelsea was just like, what else can we do wrong? Like nothing was working out for them. They did get a goal past us, which with Kai Havertz and the way that he's playing, I think he was probably the most dangerous player on the field and the player that we needed to watch. And
was 2-1 when he scored. So
yeah,
could have been closer.
And Militao and Alaba were having the time of their life trying to defend him. Because there's still other players, you got to watch as well, not just one, like Pulisic and Mount. Pulisic a little asleep in this game, unlike last time when we played Chelsea, which I still I still have nightmares and PTSD from that game. I still can't believe that happened. But this is payback, and it feels good to be on the winning end of it.
There you go. If Real Madrid wins that round, which they should, because they go back to Madrid, they're going to face the winner of Man City and Atletico Madrid, who pull a full park the bus, 10 defenders. That didn't help. De Bruyne had a goal. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, and the other side, Liverpool, Benfica 3-1. Liverpool looks like it's strong. Villarreal 1-0 against Bayern. Is Villarreal something to keep an eye on, or what are your thoughts?
I mean, not really, but I because I think Bayern is going to come back and just completely smoke them in that second game, like 5-6 goals.
You would think,
but I mean, the way that if you watch the whole game, I mean, Villarreal were looking dangerous, which you don't really say that, and maybe that was like the plan of attack, it's a catch Bayern off guard because they think we're going to play this way. So, and it totally worked. I think from the very get-go, from the very beginning of the game, they were there trying to score. I mean, the first goal came in the first 8 minutes, and I think there was another goal that was disallowed, right? Oh, it was offsides.
The old Coquelin. VAR.
Yeah, which he had a pretty nice goal too. But yeah, it was actually a really good game to watch. I would recommend people watch the
second leg.
Watch the second leg, but we'll watch the replay of this game, because if you want to figure out how to beat Bayern, Villarreal just showed the world how to do it.
Yeah, and they have Unai Emery. So
Emery, the mastermind, somehow.
He is. He's a big dog. I mean, he's coaching big dog team, so maybe things are coming into fruition this time around. So, all right, perfect. Champions League still pending. Let's go into predictions, Francisco, for this weekend. Today, Newcastle at Wolves. Who you got?
Newcastle at Wolves. Ooh, that's going to be... Wolves are always trying to hold off 0-0 for as long as possible. They want to get one goal past, their opponents. But I think this one's going to be a high score. I'm going to say 3-2 Wolves.
3-2 Wolves. Is there a Mexican player that plays there?
In Wolves?
Yeah.
Raul.
Raul Jimenez,
Yep,
the one and only. All
the
right.
one and only.
Man United at Everton. Everton is facing relegation battle. They lost against Burnley. Will they come back and beat Ronaldo's Man United?
It's Everton. Nope, no way. As bad as Man United have been playing as well, which this game might be just like a free for all. Who knows what the hell is going to happen in this game? Because Man U has not been playing well, and the frustration is, I think, coming out on the field. The fact that they're not playing well, and it doesn't look good on Man United. I'm going to say, because they spend a lot of money. They have Ronaldo, and they're not getting wins. So I think the media is really like on their back. And from what I've seen, when the media is on the back of Man United, like so negatively, like they if it gets to their head, and I think they start playing into what the media wants, and Man United just starts going down. But I think they just can't wait for the season to be over and for next year to start.
They got nothing to compete for this season. Only top 4.
Exactly. That's it. So I mean, who knows? Ronaldo might not even be there next season.
He actually is interested to coming back, I heard. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Chelsea adds Southampton.
Chelsea. I think Chelsea's bad, not bad, but the results that they don't want are going to continue. So I'm going to go with a draw in this one.
A draw. Okay, finally. Some people don't call draws anymore. In Premier League, there's a lot of draws. And on Sunday, the biggest match of the season. This could capitalize the season. This could tell who is the winner of the Premier League. Liverpool and Man City. Francisco, give us a fair, unbiased prediction.
Fair, unbiased, because I love Klopp and I love Guardiola.
So there you go.
Well, Man City they have 73, Liverpool 72, so there's a 1 point gap. The perfect chance in this, I think this is it's like a final, I guess you could say.
Yeah, this is probably Liverpool's last opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's their last opportunity, because I mean, there's no losing in sight for either of those teams. As far as the rest of the matches, because we're just so close to the end of this 8 games left. After this one, it'll be 7, which it's still 20 points, which it's you can't. There's still teams that are mathematically in it, even though it looks like it's a stretch. But I don't think there's no one on Man City Liverpool's level right now as far as their skill and how they're playing. So it's going to be a great game. It's still a little tough to predict because they go back and forth as far as the managers, Guardiola and Klopp. But I think there's just no stopping Man City. I think they've got the season again.
No,
I'm gonna go with a 1-0. It's gonna be a close 1-0 nail biter. You got to be watching this whole game from beginning to end. You can't be jumping into the second half of this one. You got to watch from the beginning.
It's a 1-0 Man City.
Yep.
Boring prediction.
What is your prediction?
Well, my prediction is Liverpool.
Not biased.
No, it's gonna be Liverpool. They're on a roll. I mean, hey, beating Benfica may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but they have momentum and rhythm going on. And with Luis Diaz, have you seen him play?
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the best winter signings of all time, maybe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That was a great signing. And it also just makes they're able to switch their front three now even more. Jota, Salah, Firmino, Diaz, Mane, with Luis Diaz, Mane, and Mo, they could play up top. They could be strikers. So that just adds so much, variability, and it could bring a lot of a game plan to allow for confusion for the other team, which I think that's something that Klopp has definitely been leaning on. But no, I could definitely see what you're saying, that they're on a roll.
Yeah, Man City is not prepared for Luis Diaz. I think that addition is gonna screw them a bit.
That's true. I think with City, especially right now with their striker list, which they've been doing that, before, playing without a
Barcelona
striker
style.
and scoring a lot of goals. So,
Yeah.
you can't really hate on them for that. Because they're top of the league and somehow still getting the results even though they don't really want to use a striker, even though they have one. But if I was Guardiola, I would want to use Jesus anyways. So
Gabriel Jesus.
okay, give me another striker this summer.
Oh yeah, it could be Kane, or I've been hearing Haaland. I've been hearing. Yeah, that's it. There's a third one out there. I can't remember his name.
Well, Harry Kane he pretty much was gonna sign, but yeah, I guess the price didn't match what Daniel Levy wanted for him.
Yeah, we'll see with that Tottenham team. I don't think Conte. I think going there, you just can't do much there. Like the owner's not going to spend money. I mean, it's proof in concept. But, anyways, that is our soccer episode number 2 of the week. Francisco, what is the best way to reach you online to talk to you about where is a good place to eat Mexican food in Oregon?
Well, if you do want to DM me or something, you can reach me on my Twitter at Francisco BCP. That's mainly what I use as far as social media and the soccer stuff. I do have other social media, but Twitter works the best. It goes straight to my phone. You could BS, talk smack to me about Ronaldo, Real Madrid, Mexico, whatever. US fans, I could take it all.
Real quick, is Benzema going to win the Ballon d'Or?
Is he?
Or he
probably
just
not. Do I want him to? Yes, but the voting is so rigged. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they just give it to Messi again.
Or Ronaldo, might as well put him in the spot.
a joint trophy. They give it to both.
Like, one thing I have to say about Benzema, he is more than a striker. He is a game changer midfielder, you can say sometimes, versus a Lewandowski. He's just a striker. Give him the ball, he taps it in. But Benzema changes the game.
Yeah, he can distribute, pass the ball to his teammates, uses his team, and uses the
exactly. He's a leader, and it feels like his best days are like right now compared to his 20s.
Oh yeah, right. Which is kind of like the same thing Ronaldo was doing. As he was getting older, eventually, they plateau and they get to a point, right? Like now, but
yeah, exactly.
But you do get a little bit better when as you age.
Gets better through age. So exactly. Well, Kobe Bryant wanted to do that, but then eventually worked out for him. He worked, help out in the middle. But anyways, that's a basketball.
That's another story.
That's another story. Anyways, you can reach us at thesportscast.net website, the Sportscast1 on Twitter. Will be actually the NBA play-in begins next week. Your Blazers are out. My Heat won number 1 in the Eastern Championship, Eastern Conference. So looking forward to that. This weekend, Liverpool versus Man City. We'll be live tweeting that. Wondering what a young leg is betting on. I have to ask him who is he favoring. And then, of course, we got, I think that's it, basketball, soccer, NFL draft in a few weeks. So things are kind of going together. Nothing this summer, just the friendlies in June, and that's it. So it's going to be a boring summer.
Be, a boring summer, and get ready for the winter because everything is going to get stacked up.
NFL and World Cup. I'm really interested in how that thing collides.
Yeah.
That's just going to
be. It's just going to to be FIFA handing it off to the NFL. That's what's going to be.
Exactly.
Here you go. People need to watch something now.
Oh, Francisco, great to hear you again. Hope to see you soon again.
So, yep. Let me know when you want me to talk some more soccer, and we can figure something out. I know my availability isn't the best, but
hey,
we worked it out today.
Exactly. You started a business. I commend you. Like the first couple of years, your schedule is like 24/7 all year long is what you got to do. And then after the 2-year mark, they say, or maybe a little bit more, it's when you start doing podcasts. So, okay.
Right.
Anyways, thanks for coming.